This is an Out of Bounds Sports presentation.
What's up, everybody? It's the Big Dog, and we're excited about the Out of Bounds Sports Show.
Miami, Florida, where they film the Vice. I'm talking about riding dirty. Riding dirty. Riding dirty. Riding dirty.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is your host, Jay Horn, and my co-host, DaVinci Dino Wright. We're here to bring you the worldwide sports from our own personal point of view. So let's get on to the topics. The first topic we're going to talk about today is the Metro B. The Metro B is our section where we talk about everything that's going on in the DFW area, from AAU sports to professional sports. So, Dino, give us our first topic of what we're going to talk about today.
Well, yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is DaVinci, and our first topic is the Dallas Marshals. The Dallas Marshals beat the world champion Texas Revolution. Now, believe it or not, I thought the Marshals were in trouble.
Right.
The reason why, the Revolution came out and they were screaming, "The champs are here, the champs are here." I said, you know something? It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I thought so.
Now, by them saying that, I was thinking, oh my God, they have the size. They looked like they had the speed, but you know what happened? They got beat in the first quarter. The first quarter, the first touchdown that they gave up, the defense had 4 costly penalties, which put them in a bad situation.
Right, there were flags all over the field. It was a laundromat on the field, and you can't play a game successfully if you're having these type of penalties every other possession or not. So the best thing to do is to understand that when you come out fast, like the Dallas Marshals did, going up 16-0, then the defending champs were back on their heels. But composure, it's a lot of football. I bet the coach was in the huddle saying, "Hey, coach, hey, kids, it's a lot of football left. We can get back in this game," and that's exactly what they did. They came all the way back, being down 16-0, and actually took the lead and was getting ready to score with 18 seconds left on the clock. They was up 31-28 and threw an interception.
And, you know, and that was the best part, because you know something? The Marshals could have gave up, but they stayed diligent, and the kicker, man, Brad Donovan played an excellent game. He stayed focused, and he gave the team what they duly needed.
Well, one thing I can say is pressure busts a pipe.
Or make a diamond.
And the pressure was on after you threw that interception, and Colton Brennan came back and scored the last touchdown, threw it to the young man back in the end zone. So we'll be back in a few moments on Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the Big Dog.
And this is DaVinci. We'll see you soon. Hey, and we're back on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. You know, the next segment we have, man, is like, we're talking about homegrown things, man, in the local news. And we're having a issue this year with the Dallas Mavericks. So, Jay, how do you feel about the Dallas Mavericks? What's your thoughts?
The Dallas Mavericks are having a controversial year, mainly because of some of the statements made by their current owner, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban said in a statement, and I don't know if he meant to say it or somebody was recording it and it got put out. He made a statement that losing is what's best for us right now. And as an athlete and as a basketball player, you know, I think that's the cowardly way to build a team or to win games. I think it's absolutely disrespectful to an organization to ask guys that are professional guys that play that's winning millions of dollars to start tanking, man. I don't understand that.
Well, since he brought this whole tanking ordeal up, there's been teams, man, that's been at the NBA cellar for years, but the Dallas Mavericks have had some really good years the last 2 or 3 years. Now, you have to look at Harrison Barnes they just brought in from Golden State. He's leading them in scoring and in rebound. Right. But now you have to think, what's best for the team and what's best for your fans? It's entertainment. If you're going to tank the season, why sell tickets?
Well, they are bringing on some young guys. Okay, they added Dennis Smith Jr., a very young guy, and they added, they still have Dwight Powell. They still have guys like Nerlens Noel, who hasn't really got a chance to burst out in the league yet. But, if they keep him and he can get healthy, they can really do something. They about to get rid of Dirk. So this is the end of the line for Dirk. But I'm a Dallas Mavericks diehard fan until I die. So we'll be back in a moment on the Out of Bounds Sports Show with our next segment. This is the Big Dog.
And this is Dino.
All right, everybody. Thank you. We're back on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. We're having a little issue with what's going on with our Dallas Cowboys. Now, I've been a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan forever, and this year we're struggling on what we're going to do in the draft and the players that we have that we're going to sign. So, Dino, what do you think about what's happening with the Cowboys right now and the year and upcoming? What kind of moves you think we're going to make?
The draft is coming up. And what's most important for the Dallas Cowboys in this draft is you need a linebacker. Not only do you need a linebacker, you need a linebacker that can play in a 4-3 or in a 3-4. Why? Because he's covering the running backs coming from the backfield. That's what we struggle with tackling. The linebackers are getting beat on every output. So Sean Lee is hurt 3 or 4 games out of the season, every season. We need a new, offensive guard, someone that played, in cold weather climates. Because once Dallas leaves the comfort of, AT&T, then we're in trouble outside.
Well, man, honestly, I have to disagree with you in what your assessment of what the Cowboys need.
Okay.
I believe that the Cowboys need defensive backs. I believe that the problem with the Cowboys has been the last couple of years that they've had to play a lot of zone defense. When you have to play a lot of zone defense, you're making up for a handicap. And the handicap is our defensive backs cannot cover long routes. They can't cover ins and out. They have bad footwork, and they're young. So I believe that what we need to do is we need to clear some salary cap and try to get some veteran defensive backs to come in and help train these young guys and help get them on track, because it doesn't matter if you have a great offense and you have the best running back and one of the top wide receivers. You cannot win a game if you can't get stops.
That's correct. I can take that. I can take that as well.
And so when we get back, we're going to talk about Dez Bryant and his future. You're looking at the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the Big Dog.
And this is Dino.
The most complete and unique style of training for athletes ages 7 to professional. If we're not training you, we could be training your opponent. Get at us to get more info. Put in work.
This copyrighted broadcast of the Out of Bounds Sports Network may not be rebroadcast, reproduced, or used in any other form without the express written consent of OOB.
This is an Out of Bounds Sports presentation.
We out here to die.
Bow tie that boy. Out of Bounds Sports, ladies and gentlemen. They say we couldn't do it. We blew the top off of it. Square business.
That's right.
Shutterstock Music. Shutterstock Music. Shutterstock Music. Shutterstock Music. Shutterstock Music. Shutterstock Music.
They take the championship this year. Watch. Keep watching.
Going good. You can't stop going all time. Only the big
Season. It's all season. It's all season. This is number one. It's all season, dog.
Oh, wow. So everybody is on point.
Everybody's on point.
Okay. Look, but give us some championship this year. Watch.
What were you dance for and who were you with before you came on board?
Welcome to the Boardroom Whiskey and Cigar Lounge. Conveniently located at 1708 8th Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas, 76110. They provide an upscale atmosphere for the grown and distinguished. Mention the Out of Bounds Sports Show for cigar and drink specials. Contact the Boardroom Whiskey and Cigar Lounge at 817-945-2975.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, ladies and gentlemen. The next topic that we're going to talk about is Dez Bryant's contract. Now, he's about to make $16.2 million. So his contract is so heavy that it's going to snuff out the veterans that we need to bring in. He really don't want to, restructure his contract because it's about him, and what the team needs is second best.
Yeah, I think that the best move for the Dallas Cowboys right now to be able to give themselves the opportunity to get some quality players on offense is to get rid of Dez Bryant or try to find a good trade option for him to go to another team and be able to get a draft pick or something of that fashion for Dez Bryant. If you looked at Dez Bryant's stats this year, he only had 69 catches, which is a low for him this year, and 838 yards. Now, you're talking about somebody that's a multi-millionaire.
Okay.
And so they're going to have to give the other players an opportunity to get in there, and Dez he's just hogging up space right now.
And you know something? You have Brett Butler. You have, so many young, talented guys that can play on the outside that have made up his shortfalls. Now, mind you, he's 29 years old. He have 3 or 4 good years left. So if he restructure his contract, that would help the team out a lot. That's just my take.
But in my opinion, Dez Bryant is not that type of person. Okay? He's not going to restructure his contract. He's going to go somewhere. He got to get his money. He believes that he's that type of player that's supposed to get paid on that level. But just lately, he hasn't been putting up those numbers. But we wasn't talking like this a couple of years ago when he's an all-star and we lost in the game to Green Bay on the controversial call of the fumble catch. So what we're getting ready to do now is we're going to have to make a move in Dallas. And it's going to have to be a big move for us to get to the next level.
Right.
And so we're going to make a move and go to commercial break. We'll be back in a few moments. This is the Big Dog.
And this is Dino.
We'll holler at you. All right, everybody, we're back. This is the Big Dog and my co-host, Da Vinci Dino, Wright, the main man of the hour. And our next segment is going to be about the NCAA. There's a lot of things that have been going on in the NCAA as far as controversy, you know, senior week, and, you know, it was a lot of championship tournaments, and guys were trying to get their bid to get into the NCAA tournament. So we're going to give you our picks, our thoughts about the guys that have made the tournament and who we think is going to win it. And Dino, take them on.
Well, you know something, I would say, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm looking for Duke to make it to the Final Four. I'm looking for North Carolina to make it to the Final Four. And Arizona is coming out the West as one of my Final Four picks. And my last pick, believe it or not, will be Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. You know what? I struggle with the Big 12 because it's so inconsistent. There hasn't been any consistency in the Big 12 this year as far as wins, as far as teams taking over of the conference. Everybody's up and down. The team that I would pick out of the Big 12 would be Kansas. At this point, as we all know, is whenever you get hot, that's when you need to keep rolling. I pick Kansas to be in my Final Four. I also pick Michigan to be in